For more resources, visit rymonline.org.
The Local Youth Worker is a daily podcast that's centered on 5 questions each week. Ranging from the practical to the professional, we're looking for answers to the questions you're asking. Whether you're in full-time, part-time, or even volunteer youth ministry, this podcast is for you.
Hey everybody, we're back talking to Katie Van Eperen all this week, and we've talked about a lot of different things. And yesterday we were kind of ending on priorities and talking about parents and just the difficulty and challenge of parenting youth in today's culture. And so that was a nice segue into today's question, asking you what's something you've done to foster relationships with parents. And we asked this question to also teach youth workers and remind them, ministry to youth is ministry to parents as well. And while most youth workers are terrified of the parents and try to, keep their distance from the parents sometimes, we need to be fostering those relationships. So what are some things you've done?
Absolutely. I've been blessed to work with an amazing group of parents. I think one of the benefits of being in a smaller community, in a smaller church, is you really get to know not only the kids, but the families. We have several families here that are multi-generational. So the grandparents are here, their kids are here, their grandkids are now here. So you just really get to know the families as a whole, which is super cool. The 2 things I would say that have helped me build those relationships, obviously the first one is just communication. Whether you are doing it via email or sending out a text blast or social media or whatever, parents need constant communication from me. Because let's be honest, I love my teenagers, but they are not good at relaying information.
That's shocking.
I know. Everybody is so surprised. So instead of relying on the kids to take home a sheet or hoping that the parents are reading my articles in our monthly newsletter, which I know a lot of them do, but some of them are not. Instead of relying on those things, I bombard my parents with communication, to the point where some of them probably get annoyed with me, and I'm totally okay with that. So typically when we have events coming up, I will send it out. It will be in the newsletter. It will be in the bulletin. I will send it out via email. I will send out a text blast. We have a Facebook page that's just youth focused. So I will post it on our youth page. I this year started an Instagram for the youth. I'm still not entirely sure how to do all of the fancy things on there, but I at least know how to post something, so that's good. So I make sure I do that. And any of the kids' contact information that I have, I blast it to them too, just because hopefully if the parents, for whatever reason, aren't seeing it, maybe the kids will tell them. Because, kind of like we were talking about yesterday, people are so busy with a million different things going on, especially our families that have multiple kids who are involved in multiple things. They are running nonstop. So I think they appreciate the reminders, even though sometimes it borders on obnoxious. The reminders of, okay, here's the events coming up. Here's when money and, forms are due for this trip, and making sure that they are constantly in the loop of what is going on. I think has made a huge difference. And then the second thing, kind of just going off of that, one of the best ways that I found to build relationships with the kids is to just spend time with them, typically at kids' events. I know that's, kind of yesterday we were talking about how kids have sometimes too many events. But sometimes they can be a good thing because it gives me an opportunity to spend time with the parents.
Yeah.
And get a better understanding of the family dynamic, and I can pick up on things that I may not have been aware of. It's super easy for me to sit on the sideline of a soccer game or in the audience of a concert at intermission or whatever, and just check in with the parents. Hey, how are things going? How is school going? How is your job? How's this? How's that? And they're willing most of the time to be like, oh yeah, there's this going on, or there's this going on, or, and it also shows the parents that I care about their kids and I want to support them, not just as kids in my youth group or as kids in my Sunday school class. I want them to know for sure that I care about their kids as people, as entire human beings, whether that's, as students, as athletes, as musicians, as fellow brothers and sisters in Christ. I care about them and I want to support them and I want to be another role model and outlet for them. And I think just being out and being present with the families helps build that trust, where they're more likely to trust me with their kids, especially with some of those, those more awkward, difficult conversations. It makes it less hard to do when I know I have the parents' trust. And, I know I have their back, or I know they have my back. I don't know why that was so difficult for me to say. So it's super insightful for me to be able to just kind of learn oftentimes more about what's going on in the family than I would have known, but also to help gain their trust that, yes, I'm not just here because I, want to shove the Bible down their throats or anything like that. I generally care about them as human beings, as well as obviously their spiritual well-being, but I care about their physical well-being and their emotional well-being as well. So those have definitely been two big things that I found extremely helpful.
For sure. And I mean, that's something that I've shared on this podcast before, that right when I was getting into youth ministry, I was thinking, okay, if the parents can just get out of the way, I'll focus on the students and, I'll be faithful to minister to them. But like you brought up, the more you're around the families and they get to know you, the more they trust you and the more effective that ministry will be. And like you kind of said on the first day about the Bible study that you put together, you wrote a Bible study and you kind of, custom designed that to speak to your own students. As you're getting connected with these parents, you're getting to know those students better. And like you said, family dynamics and things that happen behind closed doors. You learn their personalities and all of these types of things. So that is vitally important.
Yes, I would agree.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's very helpful. Anything else you want to add to just fostering relationships with parents?
I don't think so.
All right. Well, that's good. Yeah. Communication and then, hanging out, getting to know the parents. I mean, that's vitally important. Again, like you said, you might annoy the parents by over communicating, but I think if you had to err on the side of over communication, for sure.
And I was going to say, and I've had parents say to me, like, thank you for the 75 reminders because it's so easy. And I know I'm guilty of this too. I could be reminded of something and in 30 seconds, I'm distracted doing something else. So unless I get another reminder, I'm prone to forget. So
exactly.
Yeah. So I know, while it may be a bit obnoxious at times, I know it's, like you said, I'd rather err on the side of too much communication than not enough.
Yep, exactly. Well, Katie, that's helpful once again. So thank you.